myself Jenith. As Venzo said, I'm working as a business consultant in a Showcom project. So before jumping into today's agenda, I would like to start with a short story. The story is about the lumberjack brothers. In a small town, there lived two brothers. Their profession is to chop the trees and sell those trees in the market. So this is their basic business. Their usual day starts like around 9 a.m. They will go into the forest and start chopping the tree. They will chop the trees till say 3 p.m. So at the end of the day, they will collate all the woods and go to the market and sell those wood and make money out of it. So this is their basic day-to-day business. One fine day, argument broke between the brothers, stating that I'm chopping more number of trees, but you are paying me very less. So both the brothers getting into this kind of argument, and they are challenging against each other, stating that okay, one fine day we will count the actual number of woods which we are chopping and see who is chopping more number of trees. So the next day, on the competition day, I would say it is a competition between the brothers. Both the brothers goes into the forest with the same mindset to win the competition and to goes at the same time with the same equipments and with the same motto to win the competition. The elder brother, right from the word go, starts exactly at 9 a.m. to chop the trees, and without taking any breaks, without having any deviation, he chops the trees till 3 p.m. At the same time, the younger brother starts chopping at 9 a.m. and he takes frequent breaks and resumes back to the work, and he also stopped exactly at 3 p.m. At the end of the day, when they started counting the number of trees which they have chopped, to the surprise of the elder brother, younger brother have chopped more number of trees. The elder brother really got pissed off, and he asked his younger brother, saying, I worked my ass off right from 9 to 3 p.m. without taking any breaks, and also I noticed you taking few breaks, but I'm really surprised to know how you chopped more number of trees than me. The younger brother said, you noticed the breaks which I took, but you haven't noticed during the break I used to sharp the saw is an instrument, in other words axe, instrument which is used to chop the trees. So here the moral of the story is, be it any person, be it any profession, we need to sharpen our skill to have a good productivity. So today's agenda would be, we will be covering these topics: SQL, API, VPN, SaaS, and GitHub. So before jumping into these topics, I would like to set the narrative straight. So the basic idea or behind this presentation is, I just wanted to explain these topics as simple as possible without using any technical jargons or without using any technical code command kind of all these things. I just wanted to keep it as simple as possible. Say if your kid is coming and asking you what is SQL, how do you explain? So that is the level of information which we are going to do, which we are going to see today. So the people who already know all these topics might get bored, so please bear with me, and people who doesn't know what is this might have some information out of this presentation. So we will start with SQL. If you want to explain to a kid what is SQL, how do you explain? In every house where kids are there, we can correlate that there will be n number of toys dumped all around. Let's say you have, let's explain to a kid stating that you have n number of toys, and as we all know, each toy will be different in color, different in name, shape, and in different sizes. If the kid is willing to play with all the toys, she will ask her mom to bring all the toys. So mommy in return will go to the toy place and bring all the toys for the kids to play. Say if a kid wants to play with specific toys, say mommy please bring those pink color and white color teddy bears, then mommy will go and bring only those two toys. Correct? So here you can correlate this example with the SQL thing. Here, the kid is the user, and mummy who brings the toys is SQL, is like SQL, and the place where they have dumped all the toys is called database. So what actually SQL does? It is used to segregate the data in a structured format. As you see in this table, you can see the toys are structured in three categories. I mean, under three labels. One is toy name, color, and size. So by doing this, if you are asking to bring all blue color toys, then system can easily bring all the blue color toys. So here's, if you can see, the car which is in blue color and the doll which is in blue color. So that is the actual requirement of the user. So system, because of the structured information, system can easily bring in those results for you. Again, the search criteria can be according to the user switch. For example, if I ask to bring blue color cars which are larger in size or which are medium in size, so we can add those search criteria according to our requirement. So what is the actual definition of SQL? It is structured query language. As you can read, it is a programming language used for managing and organizing data in the database. To put it in simple terms, think of SQL as a language that helps you to communicate with the database. So before going into the next topic, do you have any questions around this topic? So now I'll jump into our next topic, which is API. API stands for Application Programming Interface. Let's say you are reserving a table in a restaurant. You're going into a restaurant and checking out your menus and placing your favorite dishes, placing the order to a waiter with all your favorite dishes. The waiter comes to the table, takes your order, and takes that order and goes to the kitchen and passes your order to the chef. So the chef, after receiving your order, he will see what are the ingredients required and what are the items to be prepared. So based on your order or based on your requirement, the chef starts preparing the food. Once the food is prepared, the chef gives the food back to the waiter. In turn, waiter comes to the table and serves the food to the users. So here the waiter acts as a connection between you and chef. To correlate this with the API concept, you can say the person who orders is the user and the chef is application or database and the waiter is a API. So this is the actual pictorial representation of how API works. The browser will send request to API. In turn, API will send the request to server and database. Based on the response from the database and server, the API again sends back the response to the browser using the internet. I would like to insist just to have a look to have a basic idea of how the API works. So I would like to pass on this image for at least few seconds so that people can, the pictorial representation will be easy for us to understand than what is explained. So before going to the next topic, I guess there is no questions on API. If there is any questions, you feel free to ask it. So the next topic is VPN. Let's say there is a person called Spidey. He works as a secret agent. His main job or his main duty is to collect information from various organizations and deliver it to different public organizations. So this is his basic work. But while performing his duty, he little know that there are gangsters who are waiting to get their hands on the information which he is carrying. So on his way to his final destination, there are a lot of people, hackers or the gangsters or whoever, hijackers, whoever is waiting eagerly to steal the data or information which he is carrying to the final destination. To avoid this problem, Spidey joins the secret agent service. So secret agent service, they offered him a uniform and made him anonymous. I mean, in other terms, they helped him to encrypt all the data which he carries. Apart from giving the uniform, the secret agent service also helped him, guided him with a new route to reach his final destination without without getting hold of the gangsters and the hackers who are eagerly waiting for him. As you see in this picture, you can see here the Spidey is inside the tunnel trying to reach his final destination without the knowledge of the hackers who are waiting in the normal route. So this is one of the speciality of using VPN where we can use the underground private tunnel to reach our destinations. So in this way, you can proceed your work privately. So what is a VPN? VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. The secret agency service is as same as the VPN does in the internet world. It provides the users a private virtual network that can connect to the internet in a way that is safe and secure. So how does the VPN works? The VPN, as you can read, VPN routes its device internet connection through VPN's private sector rather than using your internet service provider's IP address. Again, as I said, as we discussed in our previous slides, the VPN creates private tunnels which hides your vital data through encryption. Through encryption, it is making your data unreadable until it reaches its final destination. What are the advantages of using a VPN? It helps you to stay anonymous, and it helps you to do the online banking securely, and it prevents ISP tracking, prevent price discrimination and avoid censorship, secure public Wi-Fi connections, and last is stream regionally blocked websites and content. So here I would like to narrate one small example, real-time example. If you guys can recollect few months or a year back, Indian government banned all the porn videos, few of the porn videos which were available in India. So after banning those websites, our technical people used this VPN site to go and keep browsing through the porn websites. So why I'm using this adult example is it is easy for you to remember and it will register in mind. So that is the reason why I'm taking this example for VPN. As I said, I'm not that technical to go into this VPN and so see all those videos. And as I said earlier, I would like to keep my life very simple and clear. So I switched to the non-banned or unbanned websites rather than going and digging deep into the banned websites. So with this thing, we are just winding up with the VPN topic. Our next topic for the day will be GitHub. Let's say, all the school going kids will have a backpack. Everybody would have noticed that the backpack which the school kids carries. Now imagine, in a school, say a few of the friends and you want to do a project. You have to collaborate in a project and do the project work. You and your friends will do the homework in your notebooks and put it inside the backpack. For example, the accessories, the tools, whichever is required will be available in the backpack. You and few of your project buddies can work on the applications or the notebooks which you have in the backpack. You can just do your own stuff and put it back the application or put it back the notebooks in the same backpack. The backpack is access to all of your friends, and anybody can take your notebook and write and work on your notebook. And the one special feature is you can also see which friend did what changes in your notebook, so that you will have track of who did what and what changes have been made. In case if some of your friend is doing any mistake in the notebook, there is an option in GitHub for people to go and restore the version which when there was no mistakes. How it is possible? The GitHub will do save every change as a version history, so that it is possible to restore the version which doesn't have any mistakes or errors. So as you can read, this GitHub helps your group, helps you to keep your project work organized and accessible to everyone. So this is the basic purpose of the GitHub, just like this backpack. So today's last topic will be SaaS. I am pretty sure everyone in this call would have heard about SaaS. Wherever we go now, we can hear all these jargons like SaaS, TFAS, and bank as. Everywhere now the hot topic is SaaS. SaaS stands for software as a service. Let's say you want to travel somewhere. You have two options. Either you can buy a new vehicle. By buying a new vehicle, you have to put your initial cost. You need a space for parking it, and you have to pay for maintenance and repair costs. You have to pay for the insurance, and if you doesn't know driving, then you have to pay the driver fee. And the second option which we have is we can just rent a cab, which doesn't require all the things which we listed earlier, like we don't need any parking space, we don't need any driver, or we don't need any initial capital cost. Say If you want to travel along with your seven of your friends, then you can book your cab according to your requirement. But in the first scenario, say if you are owning a four-seater car, and if your friends, if you want to travel with seven-seater, I mean with your seven friends, then you cannot travel in your car. Obviously you have to go in for some other option. But here it is scalable, meaning according to your requirement you can scale your stuff. I mean, I'm just giving this example. Obviously, there is its own disadvantage of not owning a car and using a cab service. This is what the SaaS solved in the software world. So remember, in our early days, we used to have the CD-ROMs for every software or for every applications. We need the CD players, which has to be manually installed. And the traditional software, as you know, it is will be available only on that specific computer, and there will not be any free trials. And for every new version we need to have a new purchase, and it is a burden on premise infrastructure. As a result, obviously it resulted in increased cost and the complexity on the both the ends, on both developers end as well as on the user end. So SaaS software, as I said earlier, it stands for software as a service. SaaS is way of delivering an application over the internet just as a service. So instead of installing and maintaining software, you simply access it via the internet, freeing yourself from complex software and hardware management. The great example for SaaS products is Google Docs and Netflix. If you have your subscription ID, say if you have your Netflix subscription ID, you can just go and watch n number of movies, whichever is available there in the Netflix. In our previous early days, we need to have a CD player. We will have one or two movies maximum in that CD player. And Netflix, I mean SaaS, can be accessed wherever we have internet. What we need is just the subscription username, ID, and password. So wherever we have the internet, we can just log in and access our data. So this is about SaaS. With this thing, our topic for the day is done. Now the forum is open for any questions.